All right, people, this is Jerry. I just want to say I had this dream about 2 weeks ago. I was sitting in the back of the church, and then I hear this voice saying, "Get up, give this leather bag to the pastor." So I look around and I start thinking, okay. And then I hear this voice again. At the same time, I hear this voice, but the pastor's preaching up there in the dream. Give this back to the pastor. So I get up, I walk towards the front. As I'm walking towards the front, he says, when you give this bag to the pastor at home, you should have 5 more bags the same. So I was thinking, all right. So as I open the bag, it's full of money. So I started thinking, okay, full of money. All right. So I go back to my seat, and then as he's preaching, he had mentioned he was preaching and preaching, and then I start floating in the air like if the rapture was happening. So I started thinking, all right, okay. And then I look down and I see all these people sitting in their seats still, and the dream ended right there. So the next day I go to church, sitting in the back, and I hear the pastor say, look, if you have a bag of money, full of money, there's going to be people that are going to be jealous of you. There are going to be people that are going to be hating on you because of the money. And then somewhere down the middle of the preaching, like a few minutes later, he mentions, look, we got to get right with God. We got to pray. We got to pray for each other. We got to get close because this rapture is going to happen anytime soon. He mentions, look, let me make an example. Let's say it happens. I'm floating in the air and y'all stay behind. I'm going to be like, bye. Wouldn't you like to come with me up there? Like, go up there, that we all go together? And then somewhere down more ahead, a couple minutes later, he mentioned something that wasn't in my dream that some guy had told me. Hey, I'll help you raise some money for a church, but you gotta tell me how you met God, how you got close to him, and give your testimony. So the pastor had mentioned that, all that. So it was 2 things that were in my dreams, and one thing that a friend had told me. Actually, not me, told one of my brothers. So I started thinking to myself, this can't be a coincidence. So when the church ended, I went to the front and I spoke to the pastor. And I told him, hey, you did a good job on this preaching today. And he tells me, he grabs his hands, he puts them together. He says, the church is like a curtain. It's closed up. The more you learn, the more it starts opening. He mentioned, did you get the message? And I said, yeah, I got the message. And he said, what do you mean the message? I told him, what do you mean the message? Yeah, did you get the message? It was almost like if he was saying, did you get the message in the dream? Like if he knew what I was dreaming, because he had mentioned it up there. So it got me thinking, what does that dream mean? What is he trying to say? What is God trying to tell me? Is he trying to tell me that we're already going to get close to this, or what? So people, leave a comment below, subscribe, and see you in the next video.